Okay, we're going to talk about the Halloween films, but specifically, we're only going to talk about the first one and the sequel 20 years later, H2O, ignoring 2, 3, which is unrelated, a bunch that happened.
I watched 1 and I watched H20 20 years later, just add water.
Yep.
But I did read the Wikipedia summary of all the ones in the middle, so I can give you some brief.
Great.
Some fill in there if you'd like.
Spoilers for all of these,
Yes.
by the way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, because Halloween's coming up and we got the Halloween sequel coming up, so we're like, well, we'll get in this. I started watching this first one and I went, ooh, it's John Carpenter.
Yes.
This might be a thing. It's not a thing. This movie isn't a thing.
I think you're a bit harsh.
Are you?
Which we'll get into. But what's next after... On this one you are, not others.
Right, okay.
But sorry, keep going.
Oh, no, I was going to say, let's talk about the first one.
Okay, sure.
And then we'll fill in the middle bits.
Okay, I agree. It's a dull film a lot of the time, okay? But this was the first of this kind.
Yeah, I guess that's true,
This kind of killer... It's kind of suburban. Oh, you're getting your weird, big, buckled wallet out of your pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
For a second, it looked like you were leaving.
I'm done with this. I upset the dog as well. Sit down again, dog. You can sit down.
Chanel's here. That's why she's...
Okay.
Oh, your microphone fell over, Mason. You're really blown it. You had to get your stupid wallet out. You take your shoes off before every episode, but you don't take your dumb wallet out of your pocket.
I should do that, shouldn't I?
Much easier.
Yeah, that's true. I should.
Yeah, like this was all of these. This kind of movie. This kind of movie didn't exist.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has the absolute bare bones outline of what these movies could be. I mean,
really does.
It spawned 1,000 imitators.
Yeah.
My question being, should it have?
Some are good.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Some are good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know what is good from this movie?
Yes.
And there's no denying this. The music is terrific.
No, it's not.
That
It's bad. I hated it.
What are you talking
I
about?
hated it.
You're an idiot.
I hated the fact that what I thought about this movie, watching it last night, was in the dead of night, the spookiest time to
Did you
watch
watch
one of these.
two back to back?
I watched 2 back to back.
Yeah.
That a lot of these scenes would be way more tense if they didn't put the Halloween theme in it, because it's a lot of somebody walking through a house and then it's like, and I'm like,
Okay.
we know the killer's coming.
Okay, maybe the placement of it could be...
And then he's driving along in his little car, and it's like, I'm saying it like that also because this music is also for me iconic, but also instantly forgettable. The tunes,
Really?
the Halloween music, yes.
I think John Carpenter did it as
he
well.
composed it himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he can go to hell as far as I'm
But
concerned.
he's made so many good movies.
I know.
He did the thing.
Yeah, but this isn't the thing. This is a different movie. What I think if you're listening here and you want to watch the new Halloween movie and you haven't seen any of the originals, don't see the first one. Just get the summary of what we're going to talk about and then...
I think you should watch it.
All right.
I think it'd give you context.
Let's break it down anyway.
Okay, what's strange from the start, so the boyfriend, because it's set in 63 initially or something like that.
Yes.
Where Michael, that's going to happen a lot.
Is it?
Michael and Jason.
Here's the thing,
Michael
though.
Myers,
I
Jason
don't. I
Voorhees.
understand clearly.
I know they're different.
Clearly,
very
Jason Voorhees was inspired by Michael Myers
and Supernatural.
Yes, but Michael Myers is not even an imposing villain, in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing. He's not supposed to. He is, but he's supposed to be the shape. That's what he's not supposed to have a proper backstory or rhyme or reason. He's just he'll just sit really still for 20 years and then he'll kill you.
Which is, I think, meant to make him seem more scary, but to me, not that scary. He's just a regular dude. He's an inexplicably indestructible regular dude. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So basically, he is as a young boy, as a 6-year-old, I think,
Yeah, something
or
like
a
that.
5-year-old, he kills his sister.
Yes.
His parents come home. It's one Halloween night. His parents return home from where they were having some sort of Halloween shenanigans.
Yeah.
They return. He's killed his sister. And so they lock him up in a mental institution. He doesn't show any signs of improvement for 15 years. And then one day he just escapes.
Yes.
There's never any explanation as how he gets out. He's just all of a sudden out.
Yes.
And he steals a car.
And he didn't say anything for 15 years.
Didn't say anything for 15 years.
Winding it back though, can you imagine seeing this for the first time?
Yes.
And that killer being revealed to be like a boy who just looks like that.
Okay, that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can't. I mean, you get the sense that he is because you see it from his point of view that it clearly is supposed to be someone young because they're short.
Right.
But then you see his face, and he's just like this
Little boy.
little boy. Also, the boyfriend. They go upstairs to have sex, and the boyfriend's back down in like 30 seconds. He's like, "See you later, babe."
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. Yeah.
Good job.
Good job, buddy.
Well done, mate.
Yeah. Well, that was
That was the era.
That was
That's how
the
you
era,
did
yeah.
it.
That's how you did it back then.
But when the kid's stabbing his sister, there's no. What does annoy me is there's no stab wounds, or there's just someone smears blood on themselves.
Yeah, right,
And then they're like, they fall over.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you need to see the knife going into somebody or necessarily.
No, I need to see the
You need
knife
to see
going
it.
in.
But it just when they're lying on the ground dead, it's just somebody covered in paint.
Yeah, right.
You know? So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this follows what basically we have a number of narratives happening in this movie. We have Michael Myers very, very slowly making it back to his hometown. There we go. And then we have Dr. Loomis, who is the guy who looked after him.
Donald Pleasance.
Who
He's the best.
I guess.
Actor, he's great.
He's fine.
He's in The Great Escape.
Yeah, I know. And he's following Michael Myers
Yes.
from the asylum to his hometown.
Yep.
Completely unable to get any help from the authorities along the way, despite the fact that this dude is leaving a trail of bodies.
But he's not. Because to everybody else, he killed one person, then he's in jail. Like, he does kill the guy, the car owner, but nobody finds the body.
It's right there.
It's right there, but he doesn't find it.
But you could but Loomis calls the police and he's like, "This guy's on the loose," and they're like, "We'll believe it when we see it." And you'll be like, "Well, this..."
He broke out.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think he's exaggerating. I don't understand how he drew the conclusion that he's that much of a killer. Because he just didn't say anything for 15 years. He's like, I spent 8 years trying to reach him. And then I realized that he was a shit bloke through and through. So I spent 7 years trying to keep him locked up forever. And then he broke out. But none of his actions in that time indicate that he was anything other than just catatonic.
Well, because he didn't have a chance to murder anybody.
Yeah, but I'd imagine in the asylum he could have.
Oh,
You know?
all right.
But why? I don't...
Are you saying that Michael Myers is a good bloke?
No, I'm not saying he's a good bloke. He's clearly not. But I'm saying I don't think there's enough to suggest that he's anything other than just like a catatonic lunatic.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Because he just doesn't do anything for 15 years.
But then he does murders.
He does like 3 murders. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which is not a lot of murders.
No, that's
when
true.
you think about it. I mean, it's more than us by
a couple
at
of
least
murders.
half.
Yeah, a couple of murders.
Yeah.
Have we done a 1.5 murders?
1.5 murders. Yeah.
Wow. Parallel. And so then we've got Michael Myers slowly going back to his hometown.
Yes.
And then we have a group of brave women in their mid to late 20s who are still finishing high school.
Yes. Though Jamie Lee Curtis was 19 when they filmed this.
right,
Or 18 when they filmed this, yeah.
I don't know how old the rest of them are, but they look like they're in their mid to
They
late
all do.
20s.
But also, everybody looked older because people dress like that as adults.
Yeah, right,
Now, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
for
not-
sure, right.
So I think you see those clothes and you're like, look at these 40-year-old people.
right,
Yeah, so you didn't buy that any of them were school kids and whatever.
Absolutely not.
And I really didn't like how it kind of drives home if you don't do anything but study and look after kids, if you even hint at that you're going to do drugs or have sex, then you deserve to be
are going to
murdered.
die, exactly. Yeah.
And you deserve it.
Yeah.
Because Jamie Lee Curtis in this is nothing but a virtuous, hard-working lass.
That's right, yeah.
But her friends, they drink too much and they're having the marijuana or whatever.
Oh my god, the 70s, the late 70s, you could just drink a beer while driving a car. You could smoke a joint while driving a car. Incredible.
It may have been illegal, but nobody cared.
You could just go to have sex with your girlfriend and get out of your van and just leave the van door open on the street and then go into a house.
30 seconds and you're out of
Then
here.
you're out. I guess that's true. Keep the engine running. You're right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's also a kid that she's looking after who's getting bullied. I just made note of this. I don't know why, but he's being bullied and the kids are like, the boogeyman's going to get you. And he's like, leave me alone. But he's carrying a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Did he bring it to school?
Yeah, he's Pumpkin Boy.
Yeah, but
that's his trademark look.
But pumpkins are really heavy, especially for a pumpkin that size for a kid that small. Was he just going to carry that pumpkin home? Like, I don't understand what.
Maybe there's a pumpkin patch. Here's the thing. I mean,
schools now do that, but I don't think it was something they did in the 70s.
I bet there's a pumpkin patch on his way to school, but it closes early. So he had to get it before school and then carry it around at school so he could take it home and carve that pumpkin later.
That actually makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
I don't think that's even a stupid theory. I think that's
It's a great,
really valid.
It's my best theory yet.
It might just be.
The Halloween pumpkin patch theory.
Yes. The first jump scare of this has no music, which I like, where you see Michael Myers behind a hedge and then he disappears.
Yes.
He's really good, especially in H2O. I was about to call it the second one. I'm just going to call it the second one.
Yeah, right.
He'll stand there, and then when you look away or the camera looks away, then he'll disappear.
I knew a guy like that in high school.
What?
What he would do, his thing was, he was incredible at the dash, so he would wait until you looked away, and then he would just run for the nearest piece of cover, and then just hide, and it would appear as if he just disappeared.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
You don't remember the guy?
Michael something, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good guy?
Seemed alright.
Weirdo?
Yes.
His name was Michael something.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. That's what you don't see. You don't see him do the dash, but he must be doing the dash.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah, he must be. Yeah.
But the first jump,
he's too slow. That's the thing. How does he do it?
Well, that's the thing. I think he does. I think he's not. So he does that. So she runs into the cop, and that's the
I
first
think it's
jump
just
scare.
inconsistent.
Yeah, well, it's probably just that. But he'd
Yeah.
have to be running. But she runs into the cop, and I think that's a decent jump scare.
Okay. Yeah.
The Thing's in it. They're watching The Thing, but it's the crap version. What do you think of the kills in general in this movie?
They're very, very dull.
There's the one where he picks up the guy and he stabs him through the abdomen and he pins him to the wall.
They're
How does
very
that
dull.
work?
It's all just stabbing, but also, again, Michael Myers is inexplicably strong and indestructible.
Yeah.
And it is explored in the later movies, but then they're removed from canon. So at which point...
What's the explanation?
In Halloween, I want to say Halloween 5,
Yeah.
it's revealed that what his deal is he's been cursed. There's like a druidic curse.
Oh, no.
And basically, it makes him super strong and virtually immortal. But what he has to do is to avert some sort of catastrophe. He has to kill every member of his family, and this
Right.
curse is passed along. And that's
What
why he's
catastrophe?
I think it's like an end of the world catastrophe.
So he's a good guy.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
That
They have to.
sucks.
That's the thing, and I think that's why Rob Zombie rebooted it many years ago.
Apparently that's bad.
No, I've heard it's good.
I've
Anyway,
heard it's bad.
All right then, but he wanted to make it. It's like a lot of those characters, like Freddy or Jason. You see him enough, you get too familiar with the characters, and they become this friendly monster kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're like, we're on his side now.
Yeah.
Why? He's a murderer.
He murdered so many people.
Yeah, but that movie is removed from canon.
Yeah.
So again, he's just a guy who's inexplicably powerful.
God, you can stab him so much.
He's just a regular look. He's not even that big.
He's not that big.
He's just a normally proportioned man.
He's probably like 6 foot, maybe.
Yeah, wearing a William Shatner mask.
Yeah. They don't explain that mask at all, do they?
No, he just steals. There's a cop who goes, yeah, look, it was probably just kids. I mean, they just broke into a hardware store and they stole a mask and some duct tape and some knives. Probably just kids playing around.
What kind of...
We'll investigate it anyway.
No, it's the 70s. You
Yeah.
can leave your door open in the street.
That's true. In and out in
that's
30
right.
seconds, you're right.
That's it.
Yeah.
What is the deal with that mask? By the way, it is modelled off William Shatner.
I know,
by
yeah,
the way,
yeah.
for people listening. I know you know that.
Yes.
And it's weird because it's something you don't notice until you notice, and then you cannot help.
Yeah.
You can't help but not notice
I
it
wonder
then.
how William Shatner feels about it.
I'm sure he's fine with it.
Yeah,
I'm
as
sure
long-
he loves it.
Just
as long
more
as
of his
people are
face
talking
on
about
screen.
him.
Yeah, that's true.
It's from some weird movie he's in. There's you can see the actual movie. It won't get
Yeah.
into it.
Anyway, I thought the kills were quite generic.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell who we were supposed to hate in this movie. I guess
Yeah.
it's all the people enjoying their life.
Yes.
But like, there's a couple of characters who I think are meant to be like the cool characters.
Yeah.
Like, there's a cool couple there's one real weird like pedophilia joke in it.
Is there?
There's a joke in there where they're like, because they're gonna go over to a house where
So much of this is just people calling each other.
Yeah,
Just
but
from
there's
houses across
yeah,
the street.
There's a scene where the cool couple, like they're gonna go visit Laurie Strode, who is
so they can bang.
yeah, exactly. And then and the dude's like, yeah, I'm gonna rip all your clothes, like to his girlfriend, I'm gonna rip all your clothes off, and then you're gonna rip all my clothes off, and then we're gonna rip off Lindsay's clothes, and Lindsay's the little girl.
Oh, I thought that was they were talking about.
no.
That's a weird.
That's what I thought as well. And then we got to the later on, and I'm like, oh no, that's the kid. That's weird and gross. So I'm glad those two were murdered.
Yeah, that's good. So he's doing good work.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
great. Where did that mask come from, though? So he stole the mask from a hardware store, did he?
Yeah, I guess so.
What kind of hardware store is this?
A murder store.
Oh, okay.
Murder hardware.
Well, then
hardware for murdering.
Okay, that's good.
yeah.
That's your best theory
Again,
since
it was
your
the
pumpkin
70s.
theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the bit where he puts the sheet on and he puts the glasses on?
It's fun. See, what's his deal?
I don't know.
I understand he's supposed to be the shape, and he's supposed to be a vague guy. Does he have a sense of humor? Does he have a personality? What's his deal?
I don't know.
he's supposed to be a relentless murderer, but sometimes he isn't. He just disappears.
Yes.
Like he clearly has some sort of better to run and fight another day kind of situation, but sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's just relentless for no reason.
Yes.
Sometimes he can punch through a door. Sometimes he can figure out a key.
Sometimes he can't get into a cupboard with really loose wooden slats.
Yeah, so he has to punch his way through it. You know?
That would have been so easy
He's
to get
such
into.
a cipher, and not in a good way, I don't think.
Okay,
in a
fair
bad
enough.
way.
Do you see the influences though on like the 80s slasher movies and like the Terminator and Scream?
Yeah, better
obviously?
movies.
Better movies, yeah.
And I understand, this is the origin of that.
Yes.
But it'd be nice if it was better.
Did you like the bit where he set up all the bodies? What if she didn't open any of those cupboards?
Yeah.
I feel like...
And set up a headstone. His sister's
I did that
headstone.
as well.
Did he drag that from the
Yes.
cemetery? I guess he did, yeah.
He's strong,
He
Mason.
must have put it in his car.
He's got a druid's curse.
That's true, he does have a druid's curse, doesn't he? Anyway, so this movie also ends with just his doctor showing up
Yes.
and shooting him a whole bunch of times.
Thought that was just baffling to me.
You know what I thought? Because this movie is quite brief. It's
Yeah.
mercifully brief. It's like 90 minutes. I was like, oh man, because this is the point where Laurie Strode she's cornered. She's in a wardrobe.
Yep.
The monster's coming to get her. This is a way. This is the perfect first encounter of her and this monster. How's this going to turn out? It's the first and last.
Yes.
And then
And then the guy that she's never met just runs in and shoots him.
6 times. And then he falls out of a
You
window.
think he's dead,
And then he's gone.
and then he's gone.
Yeah.
He must have run real fast, like your mate from school.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't understand, like, he goes to kill Laurie at one point.
Yes.
And he brings a knife down, and he misses her by so much.
Yeah. Right.
I don't understand.
I think and again, that's a lesson learned, I think, in later movies, not of just of this franchise, but of just horror movies generally. What would happen then now is there'd be some contrivance. There'd be a cat would meow or a dog would bark.
Yeah,
Some sort of farmyard animal situation would happen. And then
a pig would oink.
a pig would oink, and then the person who was about to be stabbed would turn around suddenly and see them
Yeah.
or whatever.
But he
in this,
just misses.
He just misses by a mile. So again, is he good or is he not good? You know?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Anyway, so...
But I couldn't get over where she's in the cupboard
yeah.
and he's just battering away at the slats.
Yeah, right?
Like, that's so easy to get into. You
Yeah.
dragged it. I mean, he's tired from dragging the headstone.
Yeah, right, uh-huh.
But I just
Yeah.
feel like he could have just battered that down in a second.
Yeah, right.
What do you think when you see his face?
Uh,
He had the weird droopy eyelid. Was that when he got poked by the coat hanger?
yeah, I think it was.
See,
yeah.
sometimes also, like, you poke him with a coat hanger and he's like, ugh.
Also, he's got the worst hair in cinema history. Just quietly.
On the mask or just under the mask?
But that is his hair.
No, the mask has hair on it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Mm.
Well, it's bad hair.
I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
Yeah. So I don't. It's very meandering.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a lot of, like I said, different
Lot of-
babysitters calling each other.
And
from
then they have to
home
Then they have to
phones.
wash their clothes. And
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
And no, it's I don't know.
The whole scene of them going to the laundry room.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Mm.
I think it's obviously there's better things come since it, but I think I'm glad it exists for what we've.
Well, I wish it didn't exist.
No, but simply for the good stuff we've got out of it.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
Because I think this had a lot of good influences, and this obviously meant that he could do the thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so to fill you in, Halloween 2.
Yep.
He didn't die.
No.
But Laurie is sent to the hospital with a doctor. Then
It's set straight away, isn't it?
set straight away, pretty much. And then Michael Myers comes to get her, but then Donald Pleasance fills a room with gas and he ignites it, and there's a big fiery
all die.
explosion. And no, Laurie Strode lives.
Oh, sorry, but Donald
the doctor
Pleasance-
dies, and we think that Michael Myers dies.
because he's very on fire.
But he doesn't. Halloween 3 is unrelated,
Unrelated, yep.
because apparently
There's going to be an anthology.
yeah, John Carpenter and
John
his
Carter at Mars.
That's
Yep.
right. They wanted to be an anthology, like a different spooky thing happens every Halloween. So let's make it a different thing. But then nobody liked that, so they're like,
Yep.
okay, we'll bring back Michael Myers for 4. He survived the fire, but he was comatose, I think. And then Laurie Strode, he hears that Laurie Strode dies in a car accident.
Yes.
And so he wakes up, and then he goes to kill her daughter.
Yes.
And then
How old's the daughter?
I don't know.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
No, 'cause
Unless
again,
because the teenager, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he gets shot a whole bunch more times.
Yeah,
Again,
cool.
the bullet wounds are never it's never explained how he survived all this stuff.
Druid's curse.
So he gets
Mason.
shot a whole bunch of times, and then he falls into a mine shaft, if I remember correctly.
That's like Pumpkinhead, one of the
Yeah,
Pumpkinhead
exactly.
movies.
then he gets, then like a hermit shows up and like fixes him up,
Okay.
and then it's another one where he tries to kill. Because this is the one where it's revealed that he's got the curse and he has to kill every member of his family. So he wants to kill Laurie Strode's daughter and also Laurie Strode's daughter's kid, like infant child.
Okay.
But then, of course, Tommy from the original movie, now played by Paul Rudd, returns, and it's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's
Tommy, the kid.
yeah, he's back.
Really?
He's back in 5, but he's Paul Rudd.
How is he?
Great. I don't know. I didn't watch it. But anyway, this is the one where they're like, oh, it's the mythology and blah blah blah. So and that's why he's so powerful. And then Tommy shoots him with a whole bunch of tranquilizers at the end. Hang on, what happens?
Where's the Druid's curse?
The Druid's curse is in the Curse of Michael Myers, which is in 95. That's the Paul Rudd one.
Oh, okay, right.
And then we get to Halloween H20. 20 years later, just add water.
But that ignores everything but 2.
It ignores everything but 1 and 2.
Because the new one also ignores 2, where they're not related.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Which I quite like.
Yeah.